Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about the outlook for today. So let's just quickly dive into it. Currently I want to analyze gold first because gold's very interesting at the moment. Currently in gold we are touching this 4-hour supply zone, but because we are mid-range we can still go both ways. So what we saw is we are already inside of a range since the start of this year. So since this year we've been in this range and we've been able to trade it quite good right now, but currently we are inside of this mid-range, so we can go both ways. I want to see if this supply zone can hold price down. Currently we have a 4-hour supply zone, but we also have a daily demand zone. So it would make sense if the daily demand zone would hold and we push price further up. But for now I am watching the 50-minute to see if this supply zone, this minor 50-minute supply zone, which broke the internal lows, if this one can hold or not. If we cannot hold it, we're probably going to break the Asian session and probably even the London and the New York session from yesterday. So yesterday we already saw a London and New York overlap making a huge rally. Also broke the Asian highs in here, and you see that quite often that price will break those Asian highs and lows during the London and New York session. Sometimes you would even see the New York session making a reversal. So for now, during the London session, I am waiting to see which side we're going to break out. I'm expecting a little bit more downside because we are currently in that 4-hour supply zone. So I'm just waiting for this zone to be broken or to hold and to push price further down. Besides that, we got a minor demand zone in here. But what would make sense if price would push down and after that it will break this demand zone, take the liquidity in here and just move further down. Because if we move down right now, that would mean the 4-hour is active. The 4-hour supply zone is active and can push price further down. So let's move on to euro dollar. Now, for euro dollar, we came out of a demand zone, the 4-hour demand zone I mentioned yesterday. So this one. Meanwhile, we broke this internal low, we broke internal high. So let's zoom into the 50-minute. Currently, we are moving into this 50-minute and 4-hour supply zone. What I want to see for euro dollar is either way we hit the supply zone and we make a change of character and move down from change of character. So something like this, and then it's a little bit too big. Something like this, and then retest of that supply zone and move further down, or just take out these highs, make a move down, and after that make a further move to the upside. However, I am expecting that this zone will be hit today. For now, we have to check the US dollar. So let's quickly go into the dollar, the DXY, of course. For the DXY, what we saw is we broke the internal highs in here. We broke the 4-hour and the daily highs. We took out that liquidity. Currently, we are inside of a 4-hour demand zone, a minor 4-hour demand zone. I'm patiently waiting to see if price can hold this demand zone, or we're going to move further down until this lower end, until this lower demand zone. We got a lower internal demand zone in there, refined demand zone. But for now, let's check out the 50-minute. It's not really doing a lot. It's just breaking lows. What could happen right now is we take out liquidity from these lows in here, and after that make a sweep back up, take the liquidity from these highs. But I'm just patiently waiting to see if that can happen, if we can make such a move today, if we can hold this demand zone or not. Besides that, we got a GBPUSD dollar. We have a small short running on GBPUSD dollar, so it's the same kind of structure like the EURUSD dollar. For the EURUSD dollar and GBPUSD dollar, we both have supply zones in there because they broke the lows. I want to see for GBPUSD dollar, I want to see this low being taken out before I put my trade on break even. We actually still have 2 supply zones in there. So currently we are inside of the first supply zone, still a fresh supply zone. I want to just trade another leg down to see if price can go back into this demand zone. And after that, maybe even make like a further move to the upside. But like I said, I'm waiting for it to break this lower end, maybe even make a retest, and after that make a further move down. Or we eventually go above here, we go into the upper supply zone, and maybe from here make another further leg to the downside. Now let's move on to AUDUSD dollar. For AUDUSD dollar, it is more bullish than the rest of them. So what we saw on AUDUSD dollar is we touched this demand zone in here, we broke an internal high, and currently we are moving to the upside. So if we look at the 50-minute, what we saw, we had a supply zone in here, we had a small fake out and some internal supply zones being created. Right now it looks like price is going to break this supply zone in here. What would make sense of that if price makes another retest and then would move further to the upside. For now, I'm just patiently waiting to see if the dollar can hold or not, because for now, especially if you look at the AUDUSD dollar, it looks like it is going to break these highs after it created demand zone, and we make a further up move from there. Yesterday we already saw some fractal entries being hit, so we had a high in here being broken, created demand zone, price rallied from there to the upside, and meanwhile it created some areas of demand. But for now on the 50-minute, I'm just watching this one because we already broke this high right now. But I want to see if we can hold this small area in here and move further down, or we're just going to break further to the upside, create a demand zone, and make that retest. So for now on the 50-minute, AUDUSD dollar is still bullish. So yeah, it would make sense if price just break this zone, and after that create a demand zone and would move further to the upside. Look at NZDUSD dollar. NZDUSD dollar is doing the same thing. It's showing the same thing. It's showing a strength, a weakness in the dollar, strength in the New Zealand dollar. So what we saw on the New Zealand dollar is we had a break, an internal low break in here, internal high break, and currently we have a demand zone in here. We also have a, I think it's a daily trend line in here, and it looks like if price would move to the upside, then it looks like price could break that that trend line. So we still have a supply zone here because we broke these lows, and we could see some kind of reaction, but because it is stacked with a daily trend line, it would make sense if prices would take out like these zones altogether. So that's currently what I'm watching for the New Zealand dollar. On the 15-minute, we don't really have a lot currently. We just have some internal structures. We had Asian range being broken right now to the upside. I'm just patiently waiting to see if we can move further to the upside, eventually maybe hit the new zone that is being created right now. So what would happen, what is actually happening right now, if we close above this high, we create another demand zone in here, but I would need a stronger rally to the upside to even think of a trade in here. So for now I'm not really trading the NZDUSD dollar, I'm just watching it. And yeah, like I said, the DXY is currently very, very important. So let's keep an eye on that one. Besides that, for the open running trades, we got EURUSD we took yesterday. Currently, it already hit the take profit for a 1 to 2R. And we took this one because we broke an internal high in here. We create a minor demand zone and just trade the rally to the upside. Then we got the GBPUSD. It is currently also on break even. It is running about, I think, 2R or 1.9. And this one could break further to the downside. Then we got EURUSD. Yeah, it's also EURUCAD. Sorry, it is also showing the same thing. So we had an internal low being broken here. We had a supply zone being created. After that price hit the supply zone, we took an entry and we just trade that other leg to the downside. We just traded until a further demand zone. Besides that, like I said, we only have GBPUSD dollar running. This is the only open trade right now. Besides that, all the other trades are on break even, and EURUCAD even hit the take profit. So if you also want to see this happening in real time, you want to watch our trades and you want to take our trades, you can join the community for free. You can also become a premium member completely for free. So check it out. The link is in the description, and I will see you guys next time.